Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Whyfishy here. I'm bringing you guys another Whyfishy episode number 3 today. We're talking about endgame strats, taking height, how to frag out as a duo and trio. Make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. I've been putting a lot of work into these videos lately, so all of your support really helps. So I even cleaned my background for you guys, alright? I never clean anything. Alright, let's get right into the video. Thanks, boys. Alright, so the first question coming in from Hammy is how to properly frag as a duo. Alright, so the first question coming in from Hammy is how to properly frag as a duo in trios. Alright, so the example for this video that I'm going to bring up is from our FNCS Qualifier 2. This is the finals, and where we placed 3rd and qualified for heats. So this is our first game where we unfortunately ended up as a duo, but still fragged out, got 11 kills and a 2nd place. This was our first game, so we were looking pretty stacked as a trio. We all had really good mats, and this was 2nd moving. So going into 2nd moving, basically I see that it pulls back through old builds. So my plan was to go above everyone and then drop lower, right? That's the way that I like to attack, going like past builds. So if you pull zone and you go to zone and then it goes back and like around builds, that's the best way that I know how to do it, to safely get into zone. So essentially what happened here is I created kind of a bad tarp for my teammates. I didn't block off one of the left walls, which is my fault. So right here, this left wall over here, this left wall is the one that I didn't block, right? I didn't expect a team to come from here, and my teammates were a little bit staggered. So it's both my fault and their fault, but primarily my fault. If I blocked this, then we wouldn't have been a duo. But if you watch from Joji's perspective, he's just running, following me, and then Riverson cuts him off, and he tries to go around right. But he actually just ends up jumping in his box, which is not the play here, but it is what it is. So essentially, if I block that wall off, then we all get to this next zone pretty safely, and we still have max mats as a trio. But what ended up happening is Joji went down, and Tabs and I had to play as a duo. So essentially what I'm thinking as a duo is basically our mats are cut in a third, so we have a lot less mats. We need to play for more refreshes, and we need to go for safer plays, right? We need to try to find solos or duos that we could fight and maybe grab their loot. So if you watch here, when Joji dies, I clean up this kill on the Czar, because I know that if I get some of his loot, then that'll help Tabs and I live for the next couple zones. So I grab some of his mats. It gives me about 15 extra builds, which is pretty good. So what I end up doing here is just tarping us in, and then we drop lower, right? So we're just chilling here for now. So when I saw this zone pull, I told Tabs we don't have a lot of mats for this next zone, so we need to find a kill, right? We need to find a solo or a duo to fight. So what I'm looking for here is just to build an open tarp that's not too many mats and find something that's an easy kill for us. So I see Chap over here, big Chap, and he's whites. So we just get in, grab this kill. Tabs hits a nice shot. We grab his loot, so we were just playing siphon to siphon here. And the one thing that I always carry, and I always make sure that my teammates know that I have, is medkits, because medkits can extend your life a lot, and you'll see us use them here as a duo. Since we don't have a lot of mats, right? I have 3 builds, Tabs has 0, right? So we have 3 builds to our name, but we have 3 medkits, right? So I know that if we play a medkit here, we're at least gonna get a couple more points of placement. So it's worth if we can't find a kill. So obviously we're looking for a kill, but I tell Tabs to take a tick, and we both pop these medkits that we have, right? So this is actually a really good play. Because you see everyone in the game right now, there's 7 teams alive. We're popping our medkits back zone. There's a bunch of people on low ground, and it kind of pulls up a little mountain. So what we're thinking here is that we get these medkits off, right? And we're pretty much guaranteeing another point of placement. We're getting at least 6th or 5th. So, and then we can go frag out as a duo. So that's pretty much what ends up happening. So we get these medkits off, grab a kill on edge, and then Tabs ends up making it out. I had like a really sketch layer here. Kind of unfortunate. Got caught off guard. But Tabs actually made it out and did a little zone flank and made it really cleanly into zone. So he was front side as a solo, but really good HP. So right here I'm calling for him to just try to stay alive as long as he can, because everyone's literally dying. So he gets this really nice kill. He gets 2 kills. And then I tell him to zone flank around, wrap around right. Then he goes up 1. And basically he's just looking to play top 2 here, right? He has 9 builds left. And I'm calling out that he just got 3rd place. And then he's about to get 2nd in 1 second as soon as it stops lagging. So now he just got second, that's what we called out, and this is a good game, right? Turned from a duo with low mats into a second place with like 11 or 12 kills. So that's a huge game in terms of FNCS, especially finals where kills are 2 points. So this ended up taking us into second place going into the next game. So essentially what you want to look for as a duo is when you start running low on mats, you need to start looking for solos and duos to fight. You really don't want to fight a full trio, especially if you don't have a lot of mats, because you'll just end up dying. And then you can look for cheeky plays like that with the med kit. You can both pop med kits if you have them. You can look for floppers or splashes, and if you can play those, that's much better than just trying to run in a full trios box as a duo. Alright, so for this next part of the video, I'm going to be answering 2 questions kind of at the same time. I'll use 2 examples to explain them. The first one from Yanti is how do you frag as a trio endgame, and the second one from Takedown is when/how to take height. Alright, these next 2 clips are going to be coming from the Trios Cash Cup where we placed 5th and earned $1,000. These are just 2 of the 3 wins that we had that we played really well and took height in some of them. Alright, so this is a win that we had in the Trio Cash Cup. This was an 11 kill win. I believe it was our 3rd game in the tournament. And we ended up taking height on first moving. So in this meta, you can take height in pretty much 3 ways. Half and half, during first moving, or really late in the game. Alright, so I'm going to show you the 2 more difficult ways to take height, which is first moving and late in the game. So essentially in first moving, you need to use something to get you really far ahead and basically back spray on height. So you could either use peppers or bouncers, and then if you have an RPG, you can pretty much just use that to gas height and make them give it up. So in this game, we decided to use peppers since we had a couple extra, and we popped them before first moving and then essentially just ramp in front, and height really can't do much. Alright, so I tell my team we're pretty much just gonna bouncer and pepper in front, which is what we do, right? And I have Joji looking at height, and I say, alright, we can probably take it. Just because we're on peppers, right? Because they can't really shoot us out while we're on peppers. We'll just reconnect really fast and crank up really fast. So essentially what we're looking for here is to keep extending out into zone while they just stay back, and we can just full spray them here. So this is like a team that's just stuck, like not being able to move just because we pepper way in front. So then once we see them give it up and bounce her off, that's when we decide to go in front and build. So I tell my team I don't really have a lot of builds here, but at this point in the game, we don't really need a lot of builds to hold height because we have a harpoon on tabs and we can just harpoon loot at any time once we get AR kills. Alright, so when it comes to fragging, a lot of it happens later in the game when people start to run out of mats, especially when you're on height. So that's when you'll find a lot of kills, and you need to play somewhat aggressive. You need to have one guy on ultimate height and one guy fragging and one guy kind of playing safe and supporting him with AR shots. So that's essentially what we do pretty much every game we're on height. So at this stage in the game, we're pretty much just gassing height and not really going for stupid kills. So this was a pretty free game for kills because it pulled back through old builds, but a lot of people had to go over because they didn't own a lot of stuff. So this is when I start looking for frags, right? We have the guy on height with a lot of heal off stuff, so I'm looking for shotgun damage, I'm looking for double edits, just stuff to get free eliminations. So here, this is what I'm looking for. Free double edits that I can just go for shotgun trades, get easy kills, picked up an easy kill here, and then got splashes and stuff off of the body. I should have got those floppers, but we had so much stuff for heal off that we really did not come close to losing. This is where Joji and I are just going for double edits on everyone. We're gonna let tabs heal off and win the game for us. And that's pretty much what ends up happening. If you can see, Joji and I are just playing safe. And then an important thing to do is if no one has a tag on your body, you make sure you just box it up. So there's really no point to die to something stupid like that and feed Siphon. So you see I got this kill on Glace and he was the one shooting at me. So I made sure that whoever it was out in zone didn't get my Siphon. And then Tabs just wins this free heal off. There was really no way he loses just because of the amount of heals that we had going into that first game. Alright, so this next game is from the 4th game of the Trio Cash Cup where we dropped an 18 kill win. So this is back-to-back-to-back wins in the Cash Cup. Alright, so this is an example of taking height late in the game as compared to first moving or half and half where you take it kind of early. So most of the time, last moving or second to last moving play where you kind of just bounce her up, or pepper or flopper play and try to get a beam on height. So essentially, we were playing mid ground this game and it turned into Joji and I being a duo. Tabs went down to some unlucky stuff just with lag and stuff. But we ended up clutching this game out because we played our mats really well, and then we kind of just sent the same play. Alright, so Joji and I noticed that it was only 2 on height, and they weren't using that much AR ammo to spray, so we figured they were low on ammo. So they were kind of weak on height, just a duo, so we can take the 2v2 on height. So I counter Joji that we're gonna take it. We each have bouncers. So this is what happens. All right, so when you're going for these type of plays, you want to go for 2 angles, preferably, if you're a duo. You always want to go for as many angles as possible because height won't expect it. So if you look, I go out, set a bouncer down, I go up first, right? I build and I wait here. So I see that Saf here runs out of mats, right? He goes for a side edit out the side. And then Joji comes back up, right? So they're focused on him right now. So what I do here is then I jump on them, right? So I get the knock here, right? And then I insta turn to the side while Stretch is still looking at Joji. Get the knock here, 2-tack, and then we basically just win the game off of this. So Joji notices that he has 1 splash. He gives it to me for heal off, and we play this game out as a duo just trying to frag out. Because we only have 1 splash for heal. We expect that someone else has a lot more, but we played this game really well. So what I'm doing here is I'm building out a lot so no one can bouncer while Joji's popping his big. Because if we can stay as a duo, that's much better than just me being a solo with 1 splash. So now we just start gassing down, trying to get people to play heal off, and now we're just looking for free open kills. So I see a couple kids playing. I don't know if anyone's healing off because I haven't heard any audio cues yet. Then we just double big tech in. It's really broken. And then I get this other kill on Wakey after I get the finish there. Tabs comms that he has bandages here, guys. If you can play anything with heal off, if you know the other guy is healing off, then play it, even if it's bandages. These bandages ended up clutching us this game, and it was a really good call by Tabs. So you'll see that I believe he was popping a bandage as well, but I ended up getting this other bandage off, and then I go for the shot and win the game on 3 HP, all because of that 1 bandage. So it really clutched us out, and that height take definitely won us the game. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Whyfishy. I'm gonna crank even more of these out. I've been doing them like once every 2 weeks. I'm going to try to do once every week and then try to get up to 2 every week, depending on how many questions I get and what you guys need to know. So if you want your question to be featured in next episode, make sure you drop it below or drop it on my Twitter. If you drop it both places, you'll probably have a higher chance of getting in. And yeah, I can answer any of your guys' questions. I appreciate all the support. Make sure you like and subscribe. Peace, boys. Love you guys.